My child, I am here now, present in this very moment when your soul goes silent within and your heart groans in search of answers your lips don't dare to speak. I see what hurts you, what wears you out, what makes you believe everything has ended. But listen closely. What seems to your eyes like the end, covered in loss, silence, and closed doors, to me is just a bridge, a seed, and a new beginning. Do not despair. There are pages in your life that only my hands can turn, and chapters that only my love has the authority to rewrite. Nothing that has happened to you takes me by surprise, and nothing that awaits you is outside of my control. This message carries the sound of eternity and has been shaped by my spirit to reach your heart exactly at this moment. So listen until the end, because every word that follows is not by chance. It is personal, alive, and necessary for you. My child, you thought the story had ended, that what you lived was the last chapter of something that would have no continuation. You looked at the ruins of your plans and concluded deep inside that your time, your strength, and your hope were over. But I say to you with holy authority, I am the author of your existence, and my pen never rests as long as there is breath of life in you. Your journey is not a loose fragment or a discarded draft. It is a book under eternal construction, shaped by the breath of my will. And what to you was pain, I am turning into a new paragraph of grace. What you saw as a period, I am using as a colon to begin a new move. You are not stuck. You are in the interval between what was and what I'm preparing to reveal. You are not forgotten. You have been carefully positioned in a place of waiting for something greater than you could have imagined. My child, listen. Your vision is limited by the hour, but I see from eternity. You were saddened because you didn't understand why some doors closed, why certain people walked away, why some promises seemed delayed. But what you didn't see, I did. I saw the hidden traps in rushed decisions. I saw what your heart wasn't yet ready to carry, and out of love, I silenced chapters. Out of care, I paused scenes. Out of mercy, I postponed encounters, not to punish you, but to protect you. You are too valuable for me to let you continue in storylines that don't carry my seal. I write with fire, with light, with blood that redeems and transforms. And every line of your story, even the ones you cry over, are part of a plan where the final glory will be greater than the initial pain. Do not surrender to the narrative of loss, for I am the God of resurrections. Nothing is truly lost when it is in my hands. My child, there were moments when you believed you were a secondary character in your own life. You felt forgotten, unseen, walking like someone who only watches others move forward. But I say to you with power, you are my chosen one. I called you to carry a testimony that will be light for many. And this season you think is the end is actually just a necessary pause, so I can reorganize the elements, prepare the stage, align the hearts, and manifest the unexpected. You are not stuck. You are being repositioned. You are not forgotten. You are being hidden to be revealed at the exact time. I am the God who writes in deserts, who signs promises in valleys, who paints signs in the wind, who confirms destinies in silence, and I am doing that now with you. Even if you don't feel it, I'm there. Even if you don't see it, I'm still working. Even if you don't understand, I am still writing. Do you remember when you thought that relationship was forever, when you believed that job was your stability, when you dreamed of something that now lives only in your memory? I saw every expectation, I felt every tear, and still in love I closed chapters that, had they remained open, would have kept you from the fullness I prepared. I do not erase your story, my child. I redeem, I restore. I rewrite without erasing your essence. Even the dark chapters are used to bring more brilliance to the days to come. Nothing is wasted when it's given to me. Even the pages you tore in despair, I gather them tenderly and write new verses of healing, growth, and overcoming. What you thought was lost, I am finding. What you judged as dead, I am resurrecting. You thought it was the end, but it was only the pause before the miracle. I am rebuilding from within before revealing from the outside, and you need to trust in my timing. There are bridges I am building in silence. There are answers being written even as you hear me. You don't need to force. You don't need to prove. You only need to remain in me. Your story is safe in my book. And in that book, my child, there are chapters of restoration, pages of victory, verses of deliverance. Do not fear what is coming, fear only walking without me. Because as long as you're in my ways, even the paths that seem dark will shine with my presence. Behold, I tell you, lift your head, not as one who denies pain, but as one who knows pain is not the end. You are greater than the season you are going through. You were formed by my hands, dreamed in my heart, and sealed with my spirit. You are part of an eternal plan, and not a single line is out of my control. I'm straightening the crooked paragraphs. I'm giving meaning to the silences. I'm pouring peace between the lines of your soul. And even if the world says it's over, I declare it is not the end. Because as long as I breathe in you, there is more to come. There is beauty being birthed in pain. There is purpose hidden in the pauses. And there is a new chapter beginning with your amen. You thought everything fell apart, but it was you who was pulled out from the ruins to be rebuilt on something stronger. You thought you wasted time, but you were being trained in silence. You believed you were forgotten, but you were carefully kept. Everything that was allowed was out of love, and everything that is coming will be because of promise. Trust in me. Give me not only the beautiful pages, but also the ones scribbled, stained, the ones you even hid from yourself. I know what to do with every one of them. I am the God who writes stories that end in glory, even when they begin in tears. Your tears from yesterday will be tomorrow's testimony. And what today is a question will be a living answer in the days I am preparing. Because I'm still writing, and when I write, nothing is in vain. Now silence your heart. You've spoken so much, you've feared too much, you've waited with anguish. Let me speak, let me finish what I started. For the one who began the good work in you, I myself will be faithful to complete it. No comma will be placed in vain, no word will be forgotten. No sigh of yours will be ignored. I write with eternity, with justice, with mercy. And my love is the ink that seals each chapter. So now, my child, take a deep breath, not just with your lungs, but with your soul. Let yourself exhale the pressure you've carried for too long. You were never designed to walk this path alone. I never asked you to figure everything out. What I asked was that you trust me, even when your hands are empty and your heart is tired. I see how you've tried to hold everything together. I watched you smile when you wanted to break down. I counted the nights you whispered your fears to the dark, hoping I was listening. And I was. I never left the room. I stayed even when you couldn't feel me near. My silence was not absence, it was the hush of heaven preparing something sacred. You see the present as a puzzle with missing pieces, but I see it as a canvas in progress. The brushstrokes that confuse you now will one day form an image so beautiful even your past pain will make sense in its light. I don't waste paint, I don't make mistakes, and I never lose control of the brush. What you've called delay, I've called protection. What you've called rejection, I've used for redirection. There were blessings you asked me for that would have crushed you had I given them too soon. Not because you were unworthy, but because I love you too much to let anything come before its time. Some of the people I removed weren't bad, they were just not assigned to the next page of your story. And some of the places I closed off weren't curses. They were detours meant to lead you away from snares you didn't see. You've been so focused on what didn't work that you've forgotten to notice what didn't break you. There's strength in you now that wasn't there before, resilience that only storms could teach, wisdom that only wilderness could carve into your spirit. Let me remind you, you are not fragile. You've walked through things that should have unraveled you, but here you are, maybe bruised, maybe uncertain, but still here, still breathing, still believing, even if your belief is quiet now. That quiet faith is still precious to me. I know the questions you're too afraid to ask. I hear the ones buried under your politeness, the ones that begin with, why did you, and when will you? You think I'm offended by your doubts, but I'm not. Bring them to me. I am not a distant God who is bothered by your honesty. I am the Father who bends close to your trembling voice. You've often tried to adjust yourself to fit the approval of others. But I never asked you to become smaller so others could feel larger. I made you with a certain shape, a certain tone, a certain calling, and I will not bless you in a place where you must shrink to survive. Some of your frustration is not failure, it's your spirit resisting what it was never meant to settle for. That tension you feel, it's the friction between who you are and who you've had to pretend to be. And I'm bringing you back to the truth of yourself. This season will require less striving and more surrender. You've spent too much energy proving your worth. But what if I told you the next breakthrough won't come through effort, but through release, let go? Not of responsibility, but of the belief that you must earn what I already intend to give you. I do not bless you because of performance. I bless you because of love. I don't reward perfection. I respond to dependence. You've been waiting for things to align before you step forward. But I'm asking you to move even when clarity hasn't arrived. Faith doesn't require full visibility. It only requires willingness. There are doors I will not open until you take the first step. Not to test you, but to train your trust. Because what I'm building in you is not just for your present. It's for generations that will come through your legacy. Yes, your obedience today will echo beyond your lifetime. Your healing will not stop with you. The freedom I bring to your life will spill into your home, your friendships, your future children, spiritually and biologically. That's why the battle has felt so personal. Because it is. You are standing at the intersection of generations. You are breaking patterns that have lived too long in your bloodline. This is not just about you, it's about redemption flowing forward. And I know some days you just want peace, not destiny. You just want rest, not revelation. And that's okay. I will meet you where you are. You don't always have to be on. You don't have to pray perfectly, speak eloquently, or even know what to say. I understand your silence. Sit with me. Let me hold your ache without rushing you through it. I am not impatient. I will never tell you to hurry your healing. I simply ask that you let me be part of it. Even your forgetfulness, your moments of drifting, your times of emotional distance, they don't offend me. I remember your frame. I know how human you are, and still I chose you. There's something sacred about your brokenness. When you come to me not as a performer but as a child, I smile. You don't need to impress me. You are already my delight. And now I am shifting things, quietly, deliberately. There are people I am preparing to enter your life, not as distractions, but as divine alignments. Some will carry pieces of answers you've prayed for. Others will simply remind you what my love feels like through kindness. So don't panic if old connections fall away. What I prune, I replace. What I remove, I redeem. And what I withhold, I do so to preserve space for what is greater. You are entering a time of slow miracles, the kind you don't even recognize until you look back and realize you are no longer the same person. Change is happening, even if it's hidden. Do not despise the days of small progress. The seeds that grow the deepest roots are often invisible at first. Just because others can't see your growth doesn't mean it isn't real. Keep your eyes on me, not on the timeline, not on the crowd, not on the noise. I will walk you through this season moment by moment. You don't need to know the entire map. You just need to take the next step I show you. You are not behind, you are not late. You are right where I've positioned you to be. Stop comparing your pace with others. What I'm doing in you is unique and cannot be rushed. Let your heart breathe again, let the weight fall off your shoulders. I am not in a hurry and I'm not leaving you behind. Rest in me and I will restore what striving tried to steal. Even now I'm collecting the words you don't know how to pray. I'm weaving them into answers that will come wrapped in peace. You won't have to beg for what I've already written with your name on it. Your life, my child, is not an abandoned draft. It is a living story, active with purpose, breathing with eternity, and saturated with grace.